ladies. So today I am here to talk to you about fleece backers for cloth pads. So this is by no means going to be a comprehensive video. I specifically wanted to focus on the three types of fleece that I feel are the most common and the ones that I would recommend if you were looking to start sewing cloth pads, and also the type that I use when I sew myself. So I wanted to start by just talking about each of the fleece options, and then that way you can kind of judge for yourself whether you'd like to use them or not. So the first is anti-pill fleece. Now, anti-pill fleece is probably the easiest fleece to find. It is inexpensive, and it is probably where most people start when they're sewing cloth pads. So anti-pill fleece is mildly water resistant. It has a nice texture to it, which helps your pads from slipping and sliding around when you have them in your undergarments. And it's thick. It's nice and thick. So it doesn't have a huge amount of stretch. It definitely does have a tiny bit, but not a whole lot. So it's super easy to sew with, and it comes in a huge variety of colors. Now, for purposes of this video, I just picked kind of really basic blacks, whites, and grays. But with anti-pill, I have hot pink, I have blue, I have green, I have yellow, I have every color of the rainbow in anti-pill fleece. And it also does come in patterns as well, or prints, excuse me. So you can get all kinds of stuff in anti-pill fleece. And I've actually made blankets for my kids using this as well. So anti-pill fleece is a really good option and very easy to find. The second one that I want to talk about is microfleece. So microfleece is one of my favorite fleeces. Sorry if there's little bits of fluff. These have been sitting in my scrap drawer. Microfleece is probably the softest of all of these fleeces that I'm showing in this video. It is the thinnest of all of these. I don't know if you can see how thin that is. Super, super thin, really breathable, nice and stretchy. And this is my go-to fleece backer for liners and lights. So of the fleeces in this video, microfleece is not really all that water resistant. It does have a slight resistance to it, but this isn't an ideal backer if you are looking for something for a heavier menstrual flow. Like I said, liners, this is perfect. It keeps things super, super, super thin, and it does still have that nice texture to it, so that your pads don't slip and slide when you're wearing them. I use these for liners and lights, but you could also use these as a textured backer if you wanted to use maybe a hidden layer of PUL, if you wanted that waterproofing. I personally don't like PUL, but if you did want that waterproofing, you could always put the PUL hidden inside a layer of this, which would keep that waterproof pad super, super thin. So I love microfleece. It's definitely easy to find. You can find this in your fabric store, but it is more expensive than anti-pill. It's a higher quality fleece, but it's definitely easy to find. Not quite as many colors as anti-pill, but still a lot of variety. All right, so now let's talk about the Mac Daddy of fleeces for use in cloth pads, and that is WinPro fleece. So I have a couple different types. Now, here's what people don't tell you about WinPro until you actually start sewing with it, is that WinPro isn't just one kind of fleece. There's a bunch of different types of WinPro. Not all of them are really great for use with cloth pads, but I have a couple different styles. WinPro is styled by 4-digit number. So this one here, I believe, is a 9328. This one here is I think it's a 9175. And then this one here is a 9509. So there's tons and tons and tons of different options for WinPro. I personally like this, and this is, like I said, the 9328. All of the WinPros that I have are hard face. So this is what a hard face is. It's got this nice kind of knit side, and then you've got the actual fleecy side on the back. So when you sew, they're super thin. This side goes to the inside of the pad. This is next to your core material, and this is the kind of water resistant area of the Winpro. And then this side goes on the outside, and it's got that really nice, dense, fleecy feel to it. Extremely high quality, nice and stretchy, really, really great to sew with. And this is extremely water resistant, much more water resistant than an anti-pill, and definitely thinner than an anti-pill. So much more preferable than an anti-pill, but much more expensive. Another version, this is very similar to the 9328. This is a 9509. It's got that nice stretch to it. This is black, so it's a little bit harder to see, but that's that hard face side. And then this is that nice fleecy side. Again, forgive me for all the fluff. These are my little scrap drawer. So still nice and thin, really dense fleece, and it's nice water resistant barrier. And then this one is a slightly different kind. This doesn't really have a stretch. I mean, it's got a little bit of a stretch, but not really. This is the 9175. This is a cheaper version of Winpro. Very, very, very thin, much thinner than the other two. It has that nice hard face side. I would say that this is probably more water resistant than the other two, but the fleecy backer isn't as soft, and it does pill a little bit, but still very water resistant and a much higher quality fleece than an anti-pill. So these are all Winpro, even though they're slightly different, they look a little different, they sew a little different, they feel different, they are all Winpro. So when you're looking to purchase Winpro, the thing you need to keep in mind is Winpro hard face. If you get hard face, you're probably going to be okay. Like I said, these are the 9328, the 9509, and the 9175. I would most recommend the 9328. Okay, so in thinking about someone new to sewing cloth pads, what do I recommend? I say you start with the cheap stuff. Start with your anti-pill. Yes, it's thick, but it's also cheap. You're not going to hate yourself if you mess up a couple pads using this. It's very fluffy. Let's compare it to a Winpro. Very fluffy. So you can see it's probably double the width or the thickness. But it's easy to find. And, you know, it's not going to kill you if you waste a little bit of it practicing. Your micro fleece, I say just start with this right away. If you want some really thin liners and lights, it's a little bit more expensive, but if you get it when it's on sale, it could probably cost you roughly the same as an anti-pill if you just, you know, make a point to wait until this is on sale before you purchase. Winpro, you have to buy online. So you're going to have to factor in shipping costs when you're purchasing Winpro. I say Google it. Everybody has different sources for Winpro, but this is double, if not more than double, the cost of an anti-pill or a micro fleece. And that's pretty much it when it comes to these common fleece backers. I would definitely recommend Winpro over any of the others, but a cloth pad is a cloth pad. So if all you have is an upcycled micro fleece sweater, or if all you can afford is some second quality anti-pill fleece, so long as the pad works for you, that's what's most important. I hope you guys found this video helpful, and I will talk to you all soon. Bye.